G'day and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to show you another way that you can genuinely improve your balance in less than 30 seconds. Now this video follows on from a previous video that we've done on a similar topic, where previously I've shown how if you can free up your ankles, that tends to be a really nice hack to be able to improve your balance almost immediately. And in this video, I want to follow the same path that we've tread before in that video, but this time we're going to show you how to improve the mobility of some specific sections of your neck, which may have the potential to immediately improve how your balance feels straight away. So what's really important to understand before we get into this video is that if you're someone who genuinely has concerns over the state of your balance at the moment, then it's highly recommended that you go and see someone so they can give you some specific advice and target the exact areas that may be causing you some balance issues. So the best way to use the information in this video is to obviously have yourself specifically checked out, but in the meantime, it's a nice way to quickly check this to see if this is impacting you. Then you can take that information to the person that you're seeing, whether it's a doctor or a physio, and they can add that into the mix of things that you may need to work on to improve your balance overall. So before we get to the exercise itself, it's really important that we take an initial baseline measurement. That way, once you've done this exercise, you can have an immediate gauge of whether this was successful for you. So you don't have to trust me, you don't have to take my word for it. You can instantly know whether your balance has improved within 30 seconds just by doing the exercise itself. So obviously we want to make this specific to you. So if you have a particular motion or activity that you feel unbalanced with, for most people, it's great to do a single leg balance test, because that's quite challenging for a lot of people and it can give you a really strong gauge of where your upper limits of your balance may actually be in a very short amount of time. So what we can get you to do is if you just stand up, and then we'll do both legs. But if you literally just stand on one leg, aim for about 30 seconds or for as long as you feel comfortable doing this. And if you're someone who has genuine concerns over your balance, please do this in a corner with a chair in front of you, just in case you do lose your balance a little bit, you feel very safe and you can't fall, which is obviously the genuine risk with balance issues. Compare both sides just to see which side feels a little bit easier for you. But again, take note of how wobbly you feel, take note of how calm you feel, take note of how easy this is. So again, you can make a genuine comparison of whether you've actually done something with this exercise. And what this exercise is essentially, we're going to take a ball of some sort, again, whether that's a tennis ball, whether that's a lacrosse ball. You can use a peanut, you can use two balls taped together. Choose the device that you feel gives you the best access to some stiffness and some tightness that we're going to be looking for right at the top of your neck at the base of your skull. Now, for anyone who may have had neck-related headaches before, you'll know all too well that sometimes you can get a sense of dizziness, a loss of balance, or a feeling of unsteadiness when there is some dysfunction at the top part of that neck and at the base of that skull. The reason being is that top section of your neck has a lot of the nerves and neural connections that supply a lot of the structures in your head and face. And if you improve that dysfunction in the upper neck and you see a genuine improvement in the facial or head and neck symptoms that you may have, then you can make a logical assumption that they may be connected. And because this exercise is a very safe and potentially very fast acting thing to try, it's well worth trying for you if you want to improve that balance to see if this is a genuine component to your balance dysfunction. So what we want to get you to do here is that when you can take the ball, we're going to get the ball to gently press into one side of your neck or the other, depending on where you feel the most stiffness and tightness may be. So in this instance, what I'm going to do with the ball is I'm going to place the balls right up the top of the neck at the base of the skull. And we're going to very, very gently lie down on top of those balls. What we want to do with the ball is we want to make sure that we're looking to the side that feels the most restricted, the most stiff, and the most tight, for clues as to what might be inhibiting our ability to balance as well as we can. So again, if you find, for example, that this particular side feels the hardest, it feels the stiffest, it may or may not be tender, all I want you to do is just gently twist your body around or roll your body around until you find a comfortable pressure going through your neck. Just stay here and relax and let the ball press into those stiff spots until you feel like it starts to give or becomes a little bit less tender. And once you've done that, you can start to move the ball gently down a little bit and out a little bit further. Your role here is to find as many of these stiff, tight areas as possible in the top half of the neck and get those to free up. So again, if it feels really tight and tender, be gentle. If it also feels quite muscularly tight or it feels very tender, what you can do is you can try and squeeze the muscles in your neck, get that to tense up for 5 seconds, and then when you relax, you might find that that tissue gives a little bit and you're able to let the ball press in a little bit deeper. And it may not feel as tender. Then what you can do straight away is that, provided that when you sit up again, genuinely feel like your head and neck moves a bit better, what you can do straight away is then stand up and recheck your balance again. And hopefully what you'll find is it may feel immediately less shaky, more stable, more comfortable. You might feel that you can hold this position a little bit better than you could before. And the really exciting thing about this is doing this exercise on one particular spot can genuinely take about 30 seconds or thereabouts to free up. Obviously, if it feels very stiff, take a little bit longer, take your time freeing that tissue up. And the exciting thing about this is if you place that ball into the top section of your neck, feel that it frees up, and then you stand up again and recheck your balance and it genuinely feels better, it won't be a coincidence that you've freed that section up and your balance has improved. So one of the things that we can promote a lot for people out there who are struggling with their balance at any age at all, often that top section of your neck can become stiff and tight without you realizing it, most likely because of all the things that we always talk about on this channel, where we might be getting into a shape or a posture that brings in this section of our neck enough for it to become stiff and tight over time thanks to the load of our head and the weight of our head. It can also be if we're in some nasty positions and we have to hinge our neck back all the time. There's most likely some shapes that you're getting into that are asking this section of your neck to become stiff and tight, and it may have the potential to challenge your balance unnecessarily and make you a little bit more unsteady on your feet in ways that you don't necessarily deserve. But thankfully, there are some really simple things that you can try to see if there's some very tangible and very simple things that you can do to improve that in a very, very short amount of time. So I hope that was genuinely useful. Please let me know in the comments down below how your balance is going and whether you felt that exercise genuinely gave you a few more seconds to your sort of balance total, whether you feel like it felt a little bit easier to do straight away. Please like and subscribe if you do enjoy this type of content. And if you found it genuinely helpful, please tell someone, but also please consider leaving a super thanks donation on the video. It's a great way to help support the channel and allow me to keep making these videos going forwards. But with that being said, thanks for watching. I genuinely hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.